to change. All right, and we are now live. Hi, I am Kira858, and today we're bringing you episode 12 of Lords of Faerun. As always, we want to give a huge thank you to the love and support we've received for the show. Our channel has implemented additional security measures to help prevent the events that has plagued Twitch. As such, we hope you enjoy the enjoy the story that we're about to tell. But first, as always, we love to bring to you our sponsors that help makes this possible. We are, of course, proud to say that Lords of Faerun is officially sponsored by Die Hard Dice. Die Hard Dice is an incredible company that produces gorgeous dice and dice-associated items such as dice scrolls, dice trays, dice bags, and more. A standout product within their collection is definitely the mythical Dark Arts Hybris, which is this beautiful purple and gold dice that you may be seeing coming up on the channel in the near future. I'll just leave that in for now. They also recently released their Pride product, which includes the gorgeous Horizon Dire D20. Many of their Pride items are sold out, so you head on over to Die Hard Dice and use the promo code Faerun, which is Faerun, to get a discount off your purchase. So it's time to level up your dice. And of course, Lords of Faerun is now partnered with Untitled Champions. Untitled Champions, as you know, is one of the biggest D&D games around. And this week, and if you hit the exclamation mark code in chat, just one exclamation mark code, you should receive a code for a free Electrum chest. And this chest, of course, will provide free premium content to help accelerate your progress in the game. With that, enjoy. And of course, if you like our show and would like to support us, Lords of Faerun has a Patreon. As mentioned, all the funds sent to our Patreon goes directly to the cast. And the Patreon, of course, offers exclusive content like after shows, podcasts, Patreon exclusive Discord channels, and even bonus episodes. Of course, in the near future, we'll be releasing, after we reach a certain goal, future bonus episodes. Showcasing some pairings that we have here in chat, as well as what may have happened during ICE during that time that she was away. So as we continue to move forward within our Patreon with your support, we would definitely be able to produce those content for you. And if you're not able to help contribute to us financially, just getting the word out, liking us, retweeting us, does so much already, and definitely helps allow us to be able to be seen among other individuals. We always appreciate the support that you all give. And so with that said, it's now time to introduce our cast, starting first, of course, with the wonderful Elisa. Elisa, would you like to talk about yourself, and the projects that you're working on, and of course, who you're playing?
Sure. I'm Elisa Pearl. I am DMing this magical adventure. And what's coming up for me? Later today, me and a couple of other people at this virtual table, will be playing in a brand new Magic. Wow. Sorry. I was talking about Magic the Gathering with my nephew earlier today. Mage the Ascension miniseries called The Haunting of Mallory Margot. I think it's Margot. Is that how you pronounce it?
Sure, I've been saying Margot, but I don't know.
Margot, I'm not sure. But it's a very cool, spooky mage miniseries that we're going to be playing over on Jesse's channel. Our Jesse, Adrian Aries' channel, The Bear Pen. And that's going to be 5 p.m. Pacific. So pretty much like less than an hour after we finish playing at this game, go over to The Bear Pen with an H at the end and watch us play that.
Fantastic. All right. Of course, making our way down, we have, speaking of Adrian, Adrian B, if you'd like to talk about who you are, who you're playing, and any projects that you're working on.
Sure thing. Yeah, I'm Adrian or Aries, and you can find me, as Elisa said, on The Bear Pen, and I am a storyteller and a DM there. And we just recently completed Book 1 of Blood in the Bayou. Glyce is a player there. Kira's a player there. A heck of a lot of fun. We got to have May as a special guest this season. We got to have Cynthia Marie as a special guest this season. So I had a heck of a lot of fun. And now it's time for me to take off the DM and a storyteller hat and rest for a little bit and be a player again and other things, which is nice. And yes, I get to play as well in the Haunting game today. And then what else do we have? I personally don't have anything coming up, but if you stick on the Bear Pen, we have the Haunting this month, and Mostly just gaming this month. I think that's about it. But next month is October, so we got a whole lot of spooky stuff lined up for next month, which is great. I'm just happy to be here today. Looking forward to figuring out that freaking puzzle.
Yeah, Latrea's not going to be able to help with that. Fantastic. Making our way down, we have the wonderful Reed. Reed, you would like to talk about yourself, who you're playing, and the projects that you're working on.
Hello, everyone. I am at Big Dude Reed on Twitter. Tonight, I will be playing lovely Avis Nokwani, the Bard of Silvertongue. Later tonight, as mentioned, I will be playing in a very spooky adventure. Hopefully, we can help some people out and they'll survive. Or maybe not, who knows? I also play the lovely Ardris on Ravenwood Academy. And I am super excited to state that a new project is coming very, very soon. And I'm super excited for the chance when I can reveal all that to you all.
Mm-hmm. Oh, yes. Oh, yes. So we'll definitely be keeping... I will say a thing. Again, make our way across. Of course, we have wonderful Glyza. Glyza, you'd like to talk about yourself, who you're playing, and projects you're working on.
Hey, so I'm Glyza, also known as the third culture kid of your nightmares, a host of the podcast called Classical Adventures for One. It's a podcast that delves into classic books and the impact that it has in all of the media now. I'm also known as, you can see, a TTRPG player who plays a lot of different characters, most of them with secrets, though there are ones that don't have secrets on multiple channels, but you can find all of my links on bio.link/classical Glyza. Today, I'm going to be playing Helena, our rogue, cowardly elf with a secret, whose past has finally caught up with her and has placed everyone she cares about in danger. I'm excited to see whether she's going to grow and evolve or actually continue running away. So I'm excited to see where the story will take us.
That is interesting. Two different areas. It feels like a telltale option right there. As for yours truly, I am Kira858. Of course, I'll be playing the half giant Latrea. In terms of projects that's coming on, of course, for Kira858, we have Riverwood Academy, which our season 2 starts next Tuesday. So if you are curious to see what has happened regarding our campaign, we'll have a nice wrap up of what have happened, and you can start fresh. Safe to say, the ending was nowhere near the beach anime episode we were expecting. We were expecting happiness, and that was not given to us. I'll just leave it at that for now. We also, of course, have, I would say, 3 new projects coming in within the near future. Some of them, of course, coming on YouTube, some coming on Twitch. That's all I'm going to say regarding that aspect. Let's just say I cannot wait to release just one, because I am horrible when it comes to secrets. So I'm just going to stop right there. So with that said, I'm going to go ahead and bring you our intro video for episode 12 of Lords of Faerun.
Latreo, Avis, Jesse, Helena, Ice, Elliot, Aliza as DM, Lords of Faerun.
All right, and we are now back. And with that said, Elisa, take it away.
All right. We pick back up in the same moment as last week. You all are standing just over 100 feet away from Castle Perilous. Its sleek, shiny, black stone facade menacingly staring back at you across the valley. You have discovered that there are some runes that light up when living things come within a certain distance of it, about 100 feet. You have done some trial and error to see how sensitive these runes are, these protective runes, how far they extend. You figured out that they are all in all directions from the castle. And one of your rogues, Ice, got close enough to the castle to discover that there was an invisible glyph that was just laid underneath the runes themselves, and the glyph was actually doing a lot of the work. And there's two glyphs, one on either side, and they both are underneath this tall vertical row or column of runes. You have tried throwing boulders at these to break the facade, and you had some success in at least getting the boulders to make contact, but you're just a little bit too far to actually do any damage. And you also discovered what the runes are and their meanings, as well as the glyphs. So the runes are Uruz, which is strength, Ansuz, which is communication, Kenaz, which is torch or vitality, Hagalaz, which means nature's wrath, Tiwaz, which means battle. And the invisible glyph is Thurisaz, which means defense or reaction. Now, picking back up in the moment from our last session, the last thing that happened was that Jesse rolled an insight check and got a 13. Jesse, you had entered this partially meditative state, which is familiar to you. You actually have been in this type of meditative state before. And this time with your 13, you got back just maybe it was an inner voice, something telling you that there is another way to get past this defensive mechanism. Now, from the outside, the rest of you, when you witnessed Jesse do this insight check and go into his meditative state, while he was in that meditative state, you would have seen the runes come to a very low, dim glow. Lower than when things had entered that boundary. This feels like a different type of state that the runes are in. And then when he came out of his meditative state, the runes went back to darkness.
I feel like there's something we're missing here, guys.
As Jesse is coming out of his meditative state, Helena is notching an arrow and asking Ice, whispering to Ice, "Hey, Ice, do you think you can point me to that glyph? Like, just make sure, like, point it out to me so I can see if I can maybe use one of my arrows to, nick it and like break whatever it is." Would you be able to do that?
Yes, it is right under the fourth and fifth
Right there?
rune. Yes.
Okay. So I'm going to just do my arrow at it, like aim to hit it.
Okay. So before you roll that, let's talk.
Okay.
Because this is not going to be just a regular type of roll. You're over 100 feet away.
Yes.
And so your range is probably 120 or?
So based on this one, it's going to be my normal range is 80 feet, but I do have the sharpshooter range, which then basically says that I can ignore disadvantages for like if it's out of range.
Okay.
For up to, I think it says 320 feet.
Okay, great. And then what is the damage on your arrow? Like if you were
It's just a 1d6 piercing. So my aim is not to like really damage the thing, but to sort of like knock off like the glyph, like sort of nick it so that it no longer is like a complete glyph. So maybe that would, stop the spell from continuing,
Okay. Yeah, I'm just trying
I'm
to
just
think.
trying to see if I could do that.
Yeah.
If that would do anything at all anyway,
Yeah. And so it's going to be a pretty high target number to try to nick this thing. And then even when you roll the damage, we'll see. I guess we'll see from there. But
We'll see. Right. Okay. So I'm just gonna basically my goal is to just sort of nick it so that it the goal isn't to damage completely, like turn a hole into it, but just to nick it so that the drawing or the rune is no longer like a complete drawing. So
okay.
All right, let's see if I can do that. And that's just a range attack, right? It's gonna be pretty high. But we'll see. 19 plus my 8 to hit. I don't do well with math. 27.
19 plus 8.
Yeah, 27, I think, right? To hit it. And does that at least reach it and hit it?
You do reach it. Yes. Now go ahead and roll your damage on that.
Okay, cool. And no 1d8. Oh, there it is. It's an 8. I mean, it is an 8. So I don't know if that means anything, but my goal isn't to really harm it, just to nick it.
So what you see happen is, Helena, you release this bow and it flies straight across towards this glyph. It hits, you said 8 damage?
Yeah.
It hits the facade of the building and falls off. And from where you're standing, you're too far to see if it did any damage.
Okay.
So
I'm gonna throw a plant just to see if it did anything. So,
okay.
It's a bag full of plants.
I mean, just grab a living plant, make sure the roots are still alive or whatever, and just throw at it. Because apparently people have problems with me throwing rats. So there you go, a plant.
You throw a plant and fire and bubbling acid before it just is basically fire melted to nothing.
Oh. Well.
That didn't seem to work last time. All right. A question for all y'all. Did anyone make a full ring around this place?
I did. And the magic, based on my spell, the magic does surround the whole place. I didn't see any sort of weakness around it.
What about ground level? Because maybe there's another hidden entrance or something. Because I just got a real strong feeling, voice, message, there's another way to do this.
I think Latrea's, when he notices, because you said when Jesse meditated, the runes started to dim a bit, right? So Latrea's going to take a seat on the cold ice, cold snow. And he's wanted to do this for a while now, but he's going to use this time to reach out to his grandmother, the cloud that was underneath, and kind of use this as a way to kind of meditate, but also to talk to her and see if maybe she also could provide some clues and see if this also may help break down this room. So you just see him kind of close his eyes, and as he speaks inside of his head, he's just going to say, "Grandmother, they told me, Mother told me I can reach out to you, maybe. do you know what's happening here and how we could stop this?
Latreia, you said you're entering into a meditative state to speak to her? Okay. So everyone around you, when you enter this meditative state, once again, those runes go to this like dimly lit state. And Latreia, you reach out in your mind to your grandmother, and you all hear and feel the rumbling of thundercloud in the distance, coming closer to you. And Latreia, you hear back, "My sweet grandchild, I see you are stuck."
He nods. He says, "Well, first, I'm glad I can see you, but yes, this is far beyond what I can think of. He points to the sword. I'm good with that." But then as he looks at the magic, I can see that something happens when we remain at peace. I'm just not sure what it is.
You are halfway there, my child. Now you must state what is not plainly seen.
Not plainly seen. Okay, is it possible for me to roll an intelligence check to see what she's trying to say with that statement? Because out of character, I'm just like, that's a riddle.
Sure. Yeah, go for it.
All right, awesome. I'm probably going to use lucky for this one because intelligence is not strong, so we'll see. Yeah, I'm using lucky. That was just 9. Nat 20. Okay, all right.
Woo!
Perfect. Okay, he needed this. But yeah.
Great. So with that nat 20, you realize that state what is not plainly seen. Ice is the only one who can see the one glyph, and none of you can see that. So you think she might be talking about the glyph.
Okay. He nods. Says, so the glyph that only Ice can see? She has to speak it?
Anyone can, if you're in the right state of mind.
Okay. Can I talk to you whenever I go? Or is it just here?
Well, I'm not sure. Why don't you try? Wherever you are, reach out and see if you can reach me.
I would like that. I would like to hear stories.
She rumbles warmly. I would like to tell you some stories.
Thank you, grandmother. And then with that, he kind of like retains, still in a meditation state. And I think he reaches out to, not reaches out, but just speaks out to Ice and says, what was the glyph that you saw?
The glyph, it is that one. And she points to the piece of paper that she drew it on. What did you say this was called? Avis, sorry.
I believe that one was that one, Kinez, I believe. Kinez. Maybe almost Kinez.
The hidden one?
Arizas.
Yes, that.
Oh, is that Thor? Yes. Yeah, Thor. Yes. Thor is Thor. That one. Ava says it, but I really can't say it.
Thorius?
Yeah. Yes. Thor's ass. I believe it's Thor's ass.
And then he's
It's that one.
And he's just going to repeat that slowly, says, Thor's ass. And see if it does anything.
Okay. So Latreia, remaining in this meditative state, you speak that word, Furisaz, with intention. You all see from that dim, low light of the runes, they flash brighter and then go back to unlit.
If we're looking at this, I'm going to try to walk forward.
Helena throws a plant again, just to see.
The plant.
All right.
Can I close my eyes and do walking meditation, walking forward, and just say Thuris eyes out loud?
Yes. You do that?
And I keep walking forward.
Okay. So in that meditative state, you say the word Thurisas. And once again, you see that from dim to light to bright flash and then back down. And you are walking forward towards the castle. And you all witness Jesse safely cross that 100-foot boundary.
It's effective, though it's not quite as fun as throwing things. And Avis, what do you say?
Definitely not as fun as throwing things.
So he looks up. He looks up at the sky with a big smile and just slowly says out to the sky, says, "Thank you." And then he repeats, "Say function."
You hear a distant rumbling in response in the distance. Ice says, "Oh, okay, I can do. She closes her eyes for a moment and says, "Thurisas." And then she walks forward, following Jesse. It worked. Everyone do. Look, I know blow up. I know melt.
So Maitreya would definitely follow suit, closing his eyes, meditating, and saying the word Thurisas as he walks through.
And Avis will follow suit.
Helena is a little concerned because she doesn't meditate and she doesn't know if she can actually reach that point where the runes will consider her as meditating. So she takes a deep breath. She's like, oh, because she knows what other people expect when people meditate. And she's like, I've never done that. All I've done is sleep. So I'm going to take a deep breath and see if this works. So she takes a deep breath and just basically tries to empty her mind. This would not be her first attempt to actually meditate because she's tried it before. It only just really turns into falling asleep for her, but she will try. Is there something I need to roll, or can I just act this out?
I mean, if you want to roll for this, you absolutely can.
Okay.
Since it's this, for your particular character, this is a challenge.
Yeah.
We can make this into a roll.
Okay. I would like that.
I have a question though. Do you state any of that out loud? Or is
no, that's why she was the last one to walk in. She's just going to stay there and watch everybody successfully do it. She's like, I can do this. Shoot, I can do this.
Ice from inside the 100-foot boundary says, come on, Helena, just close eyes, think for a second, and then say the word. Just say the word once. That's all you need. Look, I did not die. They did not die.
So she, which role would that be? Would it be insight, you think?
Yeah, let me check. Let's see.
Persuasion.
What was that?
I said persuasion. Persuading myself that you can do this.
I can meditate. No, yeah, I think it would be insight.
Okay.
Let's see. Insight. Yeah, insight.
All right. I'm going to roll. And that is a 12 plus my 5 of insight is 17.
Great. So you close your eyes and you're like, I suck at this. This isn't going to work. But you also realize that being in proximity to these runes, once you have that intention of just kind of honing in on them as as your concentration point, it's much easier than just trying to clear your mind or empty your mind or whatever, you have the focal points of the rune. And so you use that and then you speak the word Thurisaz and see that flash of light from the runes.
And then I walk in hoping that I don't turn into ash. And she walks in. If she does not turn into ash, which I think she doesn't, she has this big smile on her face. She's like, huh, oh, is it so hard?
I said, see, you did. We all did.
Yes. So she continues to walk and follow the rest of the group into the castle, I guess.
Can I make an insight check on Helena, please?
On what? On
Helena.
Okay.
She's totally telling the truth. What are you talking about?
That wasn't so hard. I mean, why would it be hard? You're an elf. You meditate every day.
Well,
That would be an 18.
okay. What are you trying to see? Why she was hesitant, or
Why am I picking up that she was that worried about it?
so? Yeah, Helena, you did have a successful insight check. So, Helena, what would he have noticed?
So, he would have noticed that she lingered, very obviously from behind. She was waiting for everybody to go first, and then you could see that this great relief just wash over her when she successfully walks through and not, die. And then you probably would have heard her say, "Well, that wasn't so hard," as she muttered it under her breath. So
He'll keep a mental note.
Okay. Okay.
Well, I think we're inside this barrier now, but what do y'all think the next step we should do? What do we see, by the way, DM? Now that we have crossed this threshold, what is around us now?
You see the same thing. Nothing visually has really changed for you. You're just walking closer now to Castle Perilous. And so the large stone facade just grows bigger in your view as you get closer to it.
Does it look as if there is only one entrance to this place, or does it look as if there are kind of like side entrances or something like that?
So a couple of you had, tried to enter from the sides, and there were no side entrances that you could see. There doesn't even look to be actual windows. You only see that front double door.
Shall we enter?
I mean, I guess we haven't got much of a choice, do we?
Not really, no. And then Avis will go and push it over.
Okay. Avis, you walked up to the front door, and before you reach it, the doors just start to open. And a human face peeks out and says, "Hey, welcome."
Hello?
And continues to open the door. "Hello, good to see you. Well met."
It's nice to meet you as well. You're very well mannered. Me and my friends here are a bit tired, I'm sure you can imagine. You have a refreshments area. A spot of tea would be wonderful.
Yes. He looks you up and down and then looks at the rest of the party and says, now, Avis, since you're the first one and you're speaking, I'd like for you to roll. I want to do an opposed deception check to see if you can convince this person that you belong here.
Natural 20.
All right.
33.
Great. And yeah, I know your deception is gnarly. He rolled pretty well, but obviously you beat that roll. And he says, "Oh, yeah. Just, this is your first time at this castle?"
First time in a while, yes. I was here with my mentor before.
Oh, Plagueis?
Mhm.
Huh. I've never seen you before. But it's all right. I've been traveling here and there, so maybe you just passed between my visits or something. All right.
Entirely
Well,
possible.
yes. Yeah, there's food. There's food in the back room. As always, nothing has changed probably since you were last here. But I'll let someone know who you're meeting with.
A few different people, though I would prefer not to use their proper name. I'm sure you can imagine that people get very upset when you know too much.
Do you have the code name?
Do we have a code name? We got a lot of stuff in the notes. I don't remember if we had a code name in the notes.
We had a piece of paper that said
Malcolm Waldwell.
Yeah.
Jeez.
Do you say that out loud?
Yes.
Malcolm Waldwell. All right. Well, if you just go over to that front room over there, there's some refreshments in there as well, and Malcolm Waldwell will be with you soon. He closes the door behind you all.
Didn't look like this man was wearing any kind of identifiable kind of like insignia or anything like that.
Yeah. You notice that he and another person are stationed at this front door, and they're both wearing all black, and they have a symbol on the front of their clothing. You also see that this symbol is hung from a flag in the front room of this castle. And the symbol looks like, I'll describe it actually. It's a dark yellow flag with black trim. And the symbol on it looks like a black dragon that's in flight, holding a scepter with green rays emanating from the scepter.
Do I believe him when he says, when he's saying everything is, fine, and just go wait over there?
Go ahead and roll an insight.
24.
You believe that he recognizes the name Malcolm Waldwell, and he knows where you're supposed to be.
Okay, so I will wait. I prefer not to wait too long.
Okay.
And he will go.
So as you enter this castle, you notice that it is quite beautiful. All dark stone and dark wood all around you on the interior. The light is not coming from the outside. As you saw, there were no windows on the outside, but there are torches lit up in many places. The vestibule is quite beautiful, but you get the sense that this is a castle that has seen better days. It's not quite run down. It just feels like the beauty just kind of ends with the structure itself. There hasn't been much overt decorations. There's no special paintings on the wall or anything. There's these flags and there's torches and not much else. Now, you see some people kind of milling back and forth wearing either similar black clothes as the two front door people or wearing other outfits. They might be dressed as millers or miners or all sorts of other like common people. You also see a couple of people who look like they might be wearing wizard robes, talking to each other, walking down the hall, conversing with each other. And to your left is that front room that the door person mentioned and pointed you towards.
You will go inside?
Okay. You go inside, and sure enough, you do see you see a pitcher of water next to some cups, empty cups. You see just some like little bread and cheese plates next to it and a fruit plate next to that.
Are we the only ones in this room?
Yes.
Avis will cast prestidigitation to create the image of the flag with the dragon on it on his armor, just in a spot that would have been covered by his cloak previously.
Great. Okay.
Right, well, everyone, make yourself comfortable. We don't want to make anyone anxious, and hopefully won't be here for very long.
And behind you, the door person comes and closes the front room door and says, "Won't be long now." Closes the double doors.
I also do a little bit of minor illusion, just on to similarly do the same thing that Avis did, just in case. But his one might be better because my one is just a cantrip. So.
Mm-hmm. And what does yours look like?
Yeah, exactly like the one on the flags, but smaller, and it's right, on my shoulder or something like that as well.
Okay, great. All right.
Avis will target the party with his universal speech, meaning that they can understand me no matter what language I speak for the next hour. And in Giant, he will say, in Primordial, he will say, be careful. You don't trust these people, and stay close together.
Cool.
What is our goal here? Are we trying to, we're trying to just uncover some information, or we want to take, what is our goal here?
First, we have to understand what's going on here, and then after that, if it's something we need to involve ourselves with, we will stop it. If not, then we will just leave and let the people do whatever they're doing here.
We know what they're doing here. They're trying to place in a foothold in where I come from. That's why they were trying to establish wars between different groups of individuals. As long as they proceed, there's going to be more chaos reign for anyone that's not human, especially involving my family. So, while it definitely would be good to get a full understanding of what's happening here to see how far this organization transfers into, this place needs to be wiped off the map.
Of course, and strange castles have a tendency to fall into disrepair, which is why it is very important that we ensure that we are not here when that happens. Wouldn't you agree?
He not.
Or are we gonna do like plant bombs or something? And she also looks to Ice. It's like, can we plant bombs in places?
Oh, yes, we can always plant bombs.
Sweet.
And do you guys just walk around carrying bombs the whole time, or
I believe we never got to use our last bombs. So,
Yeah.
yes,
We
we
still
walk
have them.
around carrying bombs.
I mean, that's just like a surefire recipe to explode when you're like flying, things jiggling around or something, and you just boom in the sky,
I fly very carefully.
Fair.
And Avis will pour himself a cup of water, and he will kind of carry it as if he was drinking it, but he will be very clear not to actually drink anything.
Okay. Avis, go ahead and make, actually, let's see. What is your passive perception?
13.
What is everyone's passive perception?
17.
16.
11.
Okay. Jesse, you sense a bit of movement in the corner next to the stand where the drinks and fruit and cheese is. Just a little like subtle movement of a, what's the word? Wow, not a curtain because they don't have windows, but a tapestry that's hanging on the wall. This tapestry has that same, the dragon scepter symbol on it, but you just see it move when you didn't feel any wind or anything or draft that would have moved it.
Move as if, would I interpret this as maybe somebody accidentally bumped into this thing and they're invisible?
Yeah, it looks like as if someone had bumped into it.
I am exceptionally fast. Can I just dart there and try and tackle this invisible being?
You could certainly try.
I would like to try.
Okay.
What should I roll for that?
Well, you're trying to go for the spot that you think the person would have been standing.
Yeah, my intention is to hopefully try and get them in a bear hug gravel type thing and see if I could feel around for a mouth.
Let's see. Well, if you're just kind of blindly going into bear hug where you think the person is, then it would just be athletics.
All right. Do I have disadvantage on this because they're invisible?
Oh, yeah.
All right. So, okay. So, would a 16 get them?
You bring your arms in to try to grab them, and you feel something, but no, you don't. You're not grabbing anything. You're grabbing air.
I'm just going to look at Avis and say, Avis, silence. You have silence, right?
At that moment, the double doors open.
Don't have silence.
Shit. I thought you did.
The double doors open, and you see two figures, the front door person and another human male, simply dressed, wearing what looks like some type of robe situation, dark gray robes. He has salt and pepper hair. He's maybe in his mid 40s. And he walks in with kind of this affable look on his face and says, "Well met. You're here for the Malcolm Waldwell meetup. Is that right?"
It is, and we don't appreciate being spied on. So whoever it is that's trying to, I'm sure you understand, in our line of work, we're the ones supposed to do the spying.
I'm not sure I know exactly what you mean.
Whoever your little invisible buddy is around here, I can't see him, but I heard him and I felt him for a second.
He looks at the front door person. Perhaps it was a ghost.
I'm sure. Well, if I would hate for your good name to be besmirched, I assume you wouldn't mind if I were to verify that you're telling us the truth?
Verify the truth?
Of course.
This person passes their hand and says, "You can certainly try."
Then I trust that you will cooperate with us. I would hate for your honor to be harmed. And I would like to, what is it? I keep missing the name of this. Use my unsettling word on the person who's talking.
Okay, and what is that?
Basically, the next time they make a saving throw, they have to subtract the D10 from it.
Okay.
And then I would cast Zone of Truth.
Okay, so you do unsettling word and then Zone of Truth?
Yes.
Okay, so when you cast unsettling word, let's see. What level are you casting that at?
It is a feature, so it's not a spell, it's just a thing I do. It's basically my bardic inspiration.
Ah, okay. So let's see. So is it kind of like a cantrip then?
Sure. Up to you. It's really just like a thing. So you can
It's not a spell. Got it.
That bar.
Yeah, it's not really.
Okay, so then that goes through, and then your zone of truth is that.
That is a spell.
And what level is that?
Second.
Okay, so you cast your unsettling word, and that goes as expected. But when you cast your zone of truth, it doesn't take the way it normally does, which is a bit surprising to you. The man steps forward and says, "You have come here as part of our esteemed organization, no doubt, to consult with me. So why would I wish you harm in any way?"
There are many reasons to wish someone harm, a fellow friend, perhaps their political allegiances, moving and shuffling within kingdoms and territories. Well, numerous reasons. Asking me for why would be like asking for how many grains of sand on a desert.
Did I do an insight check, by the way, when he made that statement?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah, and so with your unsettling words, I have to subtract a D10 from
The next saving throw.
saving throw. Okay, got it. Okay, go ahead and do your insight.
Yeah, that sounds he's about right. That's a 2. So that is a solid 4. Yeah, he's just like
Seems legit.
Yep.
Telling the truth.
Yeah.
Indeed.
Mhm.
Why would we? Why would
Tall
he attack
and-
us?
Tall and has salt and pepper hair. I believe him.
Yep. Salt and pepper hair.
He starts to kind of like walk a little bit, like a meander around the room, kind of goes over to, walks actually between you all to get to the fruit and eats a few grapes and says, "Well, let's just carry on with what you came here to discuss, shall we? Your mission up north."
Can I lean against one of the walls and just keep an eye on the room? And how big is this room that we're in?
It's about 20 by 30 feet.
Perfect. While I'm leaning there, I'm going to, as an action, use Divine Sense.
Mhm.
And I can detect good and evil. Until next my turn, I can sense anything affected by the Hallow spell or know the location of any celestial, fiend, and undead within 60 feet that is not behind total cover.
Mhm. What was the first part of that again?
I can
Detect
detect good and evil.
Okay. So yes, he takes some fruit, walks back over to the front of the room near the door. And Jesse, you are getting a sense that this person is not good. He seems super charming, and he may have swayed Latreia pretty easily, but you're like, nah, don't like it.
I mean, we are in a group of spies.
Yeah.
So I'm pretty sure everybody's bad.
Anything from like any kind of invisible, that invisible presence that I felt there?
No, you're not.
Okay.
You're not detecting anything.
Because I'm aware of familiars, and I know that they're usually like some kind of spirit, usually celestial or fae or fiend or whatever, and they would pick it up. But
Yeah, there's nothing like that in this room that you're picking up.
okay, all right. I'm leaning against the wall and I'm listening. And I am crossing my hands across my chest and trying to look imposing because I want him to know that I'm not an idiot and there was an invisible person in here.
Yeah. So he turns back around and looks at you all. and says, "So your mission up north, I presume it has been going well."
Has been. The dragons are, well, they're themselves. The giants are subdued for the moment, but let's just say it won't take much more to force them into conflict.
All right. Anything else you'd like to report?
Nothing directly interesting.
All
Have
right.
you heard something?
No, but I can check to see if there's new orders for you.
I do want to report that there has been some chaos zone in the dragons. The what were their names? The Hellfan, or was it the Pin? The Hellfan's home have caused have had a lot of trouble, and one of their ancients have passed away. I think personally for us that is a good report. That's a good result that we would, of some chaos.
Very
Chaos
good.
zone.
Very good. All right. Well, if you'll excuse me, I will return with what your next orders are. I just have to consult with, well, you know who.
Yeah, we do.
Okay. Enjoy yourselves. Get comfortable. And he turns towards the door and exits and closes it behind him.
Because I'm hopefully confident that nobody else here will speak this language and Avis has done the whole understanding thing, I will just say one word in Aquan to him. Invisible person. What? Well, not one word, a little sentence. An invisible person was here.
Amos would like to take a seat, and as he's taking a seat, he recasts Detect Magic.
Okay. You're not picking up magic in the room that is not on your persons. So anything magical that you all have, that's what you're detecting, but nothing else in this room.
Then in Primordial, I will say, be careful. This may be getting more interesting very soon. And be careful what you say exactly. We have to assume that they will be listening from this point on.
Did I stand outside to see?
No, we should stay together. It's far too easy to eliminate people when they're separate. But I do.
Just to clarify, the door that we saw, does it look like it could be locked on the outside or inside?
If you walk over and look at it, you see that there is the ability to lock it from either side.
I don't like. We may need to, just in case, maybe have a couple of us stand outside.
Helena,
Yes.
you hear someone speak.
Mm-hmm.
Sloon. Sloon Haradrith. You are so impressive. You made your way here. For what purpose, I'm not sure. But perhaps I could use someone like you.
Helena visibly freezes and and does not respond in such a way that the whole. She doesn't say anything. She freezes and just sort of looks around. She's just looking around basically. She's panicking. So she looks around. She freezes and starts looking around.
Okay.
Does anybody else hear that?
Do you say that out loud?
Yes.
No one else heard that.
No. Has something happened?
No, just something. I may be just hearing things. It's nothing important.
Sloon Haradrith, last of your kind. I have been searching and searching for you. But perhaps I should not eliminate you. Perhaps there are things that we can do for one another.
He thinks this words maybe, wondering if she thinks it, the voice will hear it. She goes, Is this really you? Or is this, how are you even here in my head?
I have friends in many places, Sloon. And it is me. Who else knows your truth but me?
There are others who know.
That is surprising. I thought you'd be more careful.
I am careful. And I say that sort of out loud.
At this point, you all probably have noticed that Helena is there's something going on with Helena.
What? What? We didn't say. All right. What? Are you okay?
I'm fine.
I mean, I don't think you're fine.
I think in my head, can we talk later? Like, I understand that you have this whole thing where you want to kill me and now you're like changing your mind. Can we talk later? Not in front of my friends. Basically.
Come to me.
No. You need, like, I can't just, decide, like, I can't just stop running away from you just because you changed your mind and you told me that you changed your mind. Show me some proof that you changed your mind. Damn it, is what she thinks. And she's like moving around her hands silently. Her friends think her crazy, but
He looks towards Avis. Is like, is this normal?
So
Avis will walk over to her and lower his voice in an Elvish. What is going on? No.
I whisper back, he's here in my head. He's here in my head.
at that point, the front door to your front room opens again, and it is the tall salt and pepper gentleman again. And he just makes direct, immediate eye contact with you, Helena. And he leaves. He just kind of, with some grandeur, opens the doors wide and just steps aside and just continues to hold that eye contact with you.
I ask this gentleman, is he here?
He smiles at you and he says, well, he's certainly here. if you want proof, the fact that he's letting you go should be proof enough.
Where that's basic. Like, does he want us to leave?
And the man says to you, you have a choice. You can leave here of your own will with his protection, or you fight your way out. And when he says that last part, you see 40 Zentarum spies step forward from other hallways and rooms they've been waiting in and crowd around the front room door. And they all are looking towards you.
I look at my friends and I say, we should get out of here. I can't explain it. And maybe one day, maybe later I will. But we have been made and we need to get out of here.
I think there's a whole lot of explaining you should do sooner than one day, Helma. But I agree, we should get out of here and then you can explain. Because, yeah.
She smiles. It's a forced smile. And she looks at McDowell, I guess is his name. And
Waldwell.
she says,
Waldwell.
Waldwell.
Andy McDowell. It's
It's Andy McDowell.
That's how it is in my head. Well, I'm gonna go with my family, and then tell him that maybe I will come to him, whether it'll be a good arrival or a bad one. I haven't decided yet, but he'll see me soon. Enough.
It's a good choice you're making.
I don't think it was much of a choice.
Perhaps. And he motions to the Zentarum spies and they make a corridor for you. They step back. And that corridor of Zentarum spies leads to the front door, which swings open.
as we are leaving, as we're making our way out, JC will say to the person, y'all should be aware that what you were cooking up between the different peoples here, they all know now. They know you're here. They know what you've been doing. So you best clear out.
Thank you for the word of warning.
Well, one good turn deserves another.
You all should consider actually becoming spies. You have some very enviable skills. I'm impressed that you got past the runes, because I know our people didn't tell you how. As foolish as they were to have led you here, they wouldn't have told you that.
Surprised if people tell me.
What was that?
You'd be surprised if people tell me. Lots of fun pieces of information.
Well, the offer still stands. But you should thank your friend, because without him, you would have been dead already.
Lots of people have said that to me, and I am the one still walking. No.
Betrayal just stands up with the biggest smirk on his face. He just looks at the individuals and says, "You all will learn soon." Agent Spurts taps his axe on the side and then looks over to Helena. Says, so how we're doing this?
We're gonna go. Only temporarily, though. Just to give assurance to Latreia that we're not running away. This is only temporary. This is not defeat. This is tactical retreat. And basically, like, let them, like, point them to, let them go first, basically. And she's gonna hang back until everybody's gone because she doesn't want anyone to be left behind, And she's surprised that she cares that, they might get in trouble if they were the last one there.
Okay. So do the rest of you go out the front door?
Yeah, I think Latreia normally almost always walks out first because, again, he pretty much the tank. So he definitely heads out, but he is keeping an eye out for everyone else just to make sure no one is left behind as he walks out.
Okay. And same for the rest of you?
As everybody is gone, Helena turns to the gentleman, and then I ask him, what changed his mind?
He's been searching for you, putting out a message to all mages that he knows to keep an eye out. You must be very precious to him. He doesn't reveal much to me, but I just knew he was looking for you.
Precious is not the word I would think when it comes to him, but thank you, Elise, for that information.
Flagus, and he extends his hand out.
Helena cautiously shakes his hand and walks away.
Okay. You step out onto those front steps of the castle, and the doors seal shut behind you with heaviness. You hear a clunk on the other side. You are back out on the steps of Castle Perilous. And with that, we will take our break.
Ooh, that got spicy real quick.
So spicy.
So, of course, I hope everyone's enjoying our stream. If you would like to talk about what's been happening in the campaign, you can join us at our Discord, which, of course, is in chat above, where we have, of course, a spoiler as well as a non-spoiler section, fan arts, and other items. And, of course, we'll be back within 10 to 15 minutes to see you for the second half of Lords of Faerun. Well, we're up for now. All right. And we are now back for the second half of Lords of Faerun. With that said, Aliza, take it away.
So, you all are standing on the front steps of Castle Perilous, having just had a very tense encounter. You had entered the castle thinking, past some deception checks. Things were going smoothly until you realized, number one, someone had been listening in to your convos, and number two, you had in fact been made by someone surprising from Helena's past. So now you find yourselves back outside. What is your next move?
I am gonna get back into that meditative state, close my eyes, say the words, and walk right out past the barrier.
Oh, yes. Same here. Latreia would perform the same action.
Okay.
Same as well.
Helena tries to do the same thing and, say the words, but she hangs back from the crew. She's not ready to just be like, hey guys, whatever, but she's walking last behind them.
Okay.
And as we step through the portal, Latreia kind of he turns around to the rest of the group, looking first, putting his eyes on Helena, then the remaining individuals, that says, well, this makes things complicated. So with Jesse, of course, you always know if I'm speaking like fluently, he's speaking Draconic because he can't speak Common that well. But yeah, so just a heads up. He looks up at the group and says, now that they are aware of our knowledge regarding this place, and that some of the individuals are aware of the Zatarum, we may need to create a coalition of sorts to really help branch everyone together, because right now, I think only a few individuals are aware of what the Zatarum is doing. Primarily, the Storm Giants. The Hellfang clan are not actually aware of what the Zatarum has done. And while we have separated on neutral terms, we will need to speak with them, sadly, to make them aware of this circumstance. And hopefully, we can all work together to root out this organization, at least in this facility, this location. Because at the moment, the groups are still kind of on their own. And I believe there's only a matter of time before the Zatarum either tries to strike while they believe they have the opportunity to, or they may flee this castle. Who knows?
So that was all in Draconic?
Yes.
So Jesse just hears you making the rumblings.
Well, you speak intermediate Draconic, right? What did you roll?
And I rolled a 2, my dude. So my Draconic is pretty much non-existent. I can basically say, me amo es Jesse.
Jackson leans over to you, Jesse, and translates. Because Jackson, I guess, well, you know what? I actually am going to say that Jackson does speak Common and Draconic.
And I told him
because Jackson's super smart.
Yeah.
So,
I mean, I'm presuming that almost all of the dragons at their natural habitat would speak Draconic. So I'm pretty sure he would pick it up by just osmosis. You know,
oh, no, I mean, I was just thinking about Common for Jackson.
Common. Okay.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Jesse sort of nods his head, but you can tell that that sort of like glow that he sometimes gets in his eyes is there, but it's not the color of like calm seas. It's more like a storm cloud gray that is emanating from his eyes. And he says, that's all good and well, and that's fine. We should do that. But right now we're here and we're outside. And he looks at Avis and at Helena. I've been trying to leave things for your own business, but I watch you. I watch everyone. Now listen, and I'm here on a path to help protect and help keep this family safe. And I can't do that when y'all are keeping secrets and when dang snake people come to Veshanthar, and then you disappear at night, and we meditate, we go through the barrier, and you're standing there like you don't know how to do that, and you're an elf. And this man inside knows you or something, and we're getting all these messages. Both of y'all need to come clean about something right now so we can help each other, so we can keep these folks safe. So I'm pointing at our dragons so we can keep each other safe. I can't help you unless you let me.
You see Helena like about to speak, just like opens her mouth, but then closes it and looks at Treebush, just like a begging look at Treebush. And this is a look that Treebush knows. This is a look that is very common that Helena gives to Treebush. It's basically like, do something to get me out of here. This is the same look that, she wants to tell the truth, but she's just not ready. And because she's not ready, she's shutting down. Mm-hmm. And she looks at Treebush, the same look that she's always given him, to be like, do something, get me out of here, anything, please. And that's basically the look that she shares with Treebush.
Treebush sees this look on your face, and I want you to roll animal handling.
Sweet. Let's see.
To see if Treebush will go along with this.
Let's see if Treebush is on my side, or if Treebush is like, it's time to face your demons, lady. Mm-hmm. Tired of like making you run away with it. All right. Well, the good news is I have a +1.
Okay.
In animal handling.
All right.
It's all up to luck now.
Natural one. Natural one. Natural one.
I'm trying not to move it, but I gotta.
Is that a
19?
Oh, 19. Oh.
19 plus my 1. So
I'm gonna.
I mean, just because I rolled a 20 doesn't mean Treebush is just gonna go with it.
I was gonna say
it has to be like a high. Like if you did think it's a higher roll, it's fine.
Treebush. Here's the thing. You might hate me for this, but here's my reasoning. Narratively, you all have exited this castle, and I'm presuming since you're talking to the dragons, you're now past that 100-foot barrier, because they did not come in with you.
No,
so you're already way out past. No one has told the dragons what has happened. They're just kind of picking up like context clues. So I'm gonna have you roll at disadvantage, because
all right.
Treebush is like, is this what's best for you? What happened in there? I don't know what's going on.
All right, I'm gonna roll again with a disadvantage, but my high roll is. So it's a 16 plus 1, 17.
All right. So Treebush says, why don't we, I'm so hungry. We should go hunt. And Treebush like gently pokes you, Helena. Can we hunt now? Aren't you all hungry? We should eat something.
Because Treebush said that, I will look at I was expecting, like in my head, I was expecting Treebush to just sort of like swoop down and grab her and pull her out. She doesn't have No, that's okay. No, that's okay. That's basically like, that's the look that she gives, and she's like, you didn't get what I want. So she looks at everyone and she says, give me some time to tell you the truth. I just can't right now. I will go help Treebush with his hunting, but I will be back, and I will tell the truth.
Wait, before you go, we may want to at least not meet back here. We're still relatively close to the castle, and he kind of nods towards the where the castle distance is. Maybe if we want, we could return to the Diamond 4 location. Regroup there.
Elliot says, "Yes, I quite agree. We should probably be further from this place."
Okay. Well, I'll see you guys later.
Before he heads off, Latreia places his big palm on Helena's shoulders and says, "Be careful."
Thank you.
And Ice, after Latreia does that and moves away, Ice then moves in and says to you, Helena, "Remember what I always say. I will fight anything for you. You just have to tell me what it is."
Thank you, Ice. I will. I just need to think properly, and I will be back. And
all right.
She gives Avis a look, and she rides the tree bush, and her fly away.
Okay.
I think from there, Latreia kind of looks over to Jesse and notices, of course, the anger within his eyes. And as he steps forward, he places his hand on his shoulder as well. He doesn't really say much because he's not really the comforting type, but he does have a strong grip on it to know that at least he doesn't really fully understand, but he wants to be there to show that he's not alone in this ordeal.
I nod my head and sort of pat him on the hand. And then I get on Jackson's back and I speak to him Celestial. And we go to the mine.
Okay. Avis and Latreia, are you also heading to the mine?
Oh, yes. Mm-hmm.
Okay. And Elliot and Ice on the backs of their dragons follow behind you. So, night has fallen by the time you reach back to the mines. And the place that you set up your camp is still available. No one has moved anything or changed anything. So you could head back to that area if you like. Okay. Elliot says, "Well, I know she was kind of avoiding telling us truths, but Treebush was right. I'm pretty hungry. What are we going to do for a meal?" And I says, "I can start fire. Come, let's start fire." And she motions to Fred, and Fred just, she and Fred start to work on starting fire.
Latreia will look out and says, "I'm pretty sure I could take care of that. Give me some time, and I'll see if I could bring back some food for all of us."
I says, "I have craving for hair. Can you get hair? Do they have hair in Vasta? I have not seen."
He remembers the giant hair that Shireen had, and she was like, "Oh, yes."
Oh, snap. Are you going to go back up there to get a giant hair?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, nice.
Pretty much.
And Ice says, "Oh, wonderful. Yes, I just, that cute little furry hair, like that little face. I just want to eat it right now. Can you, yes."
Well, they will be little, but there will be a furry face.
Oh, okay. Even better.
Yeah, so with that, you go to head out, and because he's great when it comes to survival, he'll head out and start doing some looking.
Okay. Mm-hmm. All right. So now Latreia, and actually, I think after she starts the fire, Ice says, "Actually, I would love to come along and help. I want to see Big Bunny die."
Oh, okay. He smirks. He's like,
And Elliot says, "I'll come along as well.
Okay.
Could be a nice little adventure." And so the two of them also get on their dragons' backs.
All right.
And the three of you depart, the six of you depart, leaving Jesse and Avis at the campsite.
It's time for some heart to heart.
Maybe.
I didn't realize what you were doing until that moment came into place. I was like, oh.
Everyone, listen, we could just say it plainly. Everyone in the party has been feeling this, this tension since leaving the castle. And Helena has left, the person who is all kind of like the focal point. So yeah,
Everyone's everything.
Right. Everyone's kind of like, I'm gonna go. Everyone's just kind of trying to manage that tension in their own personal way. So, yes, the six of them go off to hunt a hare, a giant bunny rabbit, and that leaves Avis and Jesse and their dragons, Yuki and Jackson. So nearby, a little bit further, maybe like 30, 40 feet away from the two of you, your dragons are chatting with each other and you can overhear their conversation. Avis, a few sessions ago, which I guess in the game was a day ago, you were teaching Yuki some magic. And Jackson has kind of been like her tutor during this time. And in between you teaching her spells, Jackson has been there to help her practice and help teach her some ritual things and just be there to help. So you see that over yonder, the two dragons are kind of practicing magic together. And the two of you sit by the fire, warming your bodies in the Vasa night.
I've just pulled out a little piece of driftwood that I carry in my back that I've been slowly working on carving. And I'm just carving away at it. Not saying anything.
For someone who wears their emotions on their sleeve, there's no point in pretending you don't have something you want to know. What questions do you have, Jesse?
I mean, I think I was pretty plain about most things. We're all together. And I just want to know how I can help all y'all. And I can't do that when everyone's keeping their mouths closed all the time.
Well, I cannot share with you her story. Is it in my place to explain? And if they do not wish to speak it, then I will not. I can assure you that there's nothing in my past for you to concern yourself with. And there's nothing that no amount of talking or meditating or prayer or whatever will resolve. My decisions have been made long ago.
What are those decisions?
Don't believe I've ever told you all why I was with Helena's group when I was younger, did I?
Heck, I don't even know if I knew Helena had a group. I just knew you two were friends.
Well, when I was a boy, I was a bit more adventurous, you could say. And our kingdom had a very cruel woman for a queen. And one day I managed to find a bauble of hers, something she valued quite a lot. My curiosity prevented me from leaving good things alone. I wanted to see it and to understand it. So I took it. I was always very good with my tongue. See, took a few words and, well, they let me inside and I found my treasure.
Now I take it that's not the end of that story.
No. Turns out the item she had, a flute, it was a special one. It is used to imprison jinn. Sure, you've heard tales of powerful beings that can grant wishes and make your dreams come true. Well, it turns out that those are true, and that this specific flute was, as you could say, my birthright. Belonged to my father, or rather, it had him inside of it for a time. And the nobility was not very happy when they found out that I had taken it back. However, I was never good at following directions, and I had a habit of staying out late at night. A few friends who liked to sing. And well, when I returned home, our home was ransacked. My mother was missing. Well, instead of finding her or forcing my way into whatever place a woman could think of to imprison my family, I fled. If it wasn't for a group of odd people, would say, I probably would have died in some forest, eating the wrong berries or forgetting to drink water. But they took me in, and they taught me to survive. No, they taught me to infiltrate, to be someone else, to become something else. And, well, I became Evis Naquani, thief and bard and storyteller.
Have you ever tried to see if your mother or any of the others are still alive?
No, my father used to speak to me and train me in how I can get her back, but it was decades ago, Jesse. My family has long passed, and my father hasn't spoken to me in decades. So I've continued with what I do best. I've become a different person. At this point, I'm not even entirely sure if this blasted accent is mine or if it's something I stole from someone else on a job they never let go.
I find that when people are lost in a certain sense, they gravitate to what they need to keep themselves alive. But over time, if they find that nobody comes looking for them, and all they know is survival, and they stop remembering that maybe they can find their own way somewhere else. You see it on occasion. People get lost out in the islands and shipwrecks and such. There's always a way to find your way home if you're looking for it.
Perhaps there is, but not for someone like me. See, I have clutched two lies for so long, I can't tell you what home would even mean. I'm not even sure what is true and what is false. See, it's said that my ability to deceive has become so perfect that I've deceived myself, which is ultimately the worst thing you can do.
maybe it's time you start finding out what parts of yourself are true and not a character you play. Because I'd like to think that in this time that we've been traveling together and getting to know each other, that there is truth between us. Our kids, he looks towards the dragons. This family we put together. There's truth in that if you want it.
Yes, that is something. Luke is perhaps the one thing I don't regret at this moment. But I am nothing more than a coward with a way with words.
Well, now, I don't think a coward walks into a lair full of white dragons looking for the mysterious dagger. That's my own take.
Perhaps, but it isn't. It is very easy to follow you all anywhere. You have a way of sweeping people up into impossible adventure.
My wife would agree with you.
It's not my intention to bring any trouble or harm to your people. And if there is anything I can do to prevent it, I will make sure that you have my word, but I can't guarantee anything more.
Well, that's a start. And if you do ever want to go looking to see if we can find some traces of that man you left behind, I'll go with you.
Perhaps soon. But for now, we have things to do. We have people to save.
Well,
those people won't stop anytime soon.
Well, Latreya's right. We need to go talk to the Hell fans again. I don't think us staying here in Vasa is going to be necessary after that, to be honest. If the giants and the dragons know they're here, I think the Zentara believe they don't like to be out in the open, exposed. The real threat comes in whatever that man was talking about with Helena. Whatever's coming. The message I got was pretty clear. Something bigger is out there and is going on. And I think it starts.
She is stronger than she knows. She will be prepared for him.
Yeah.
And with that, we're going to move over to flying over the edge of the Great Glacier, crossing back over onto that wide expanse of ice. We have 3 dragons and 3 riders, Latreya, Ice, and Elliot. Now, you have become a little bit familiar with certain areas on the Great Glacier. So you've been to, actually, primarily what I'm saying is that you've been to your sister's hunting ground. So you know where there would be a place to hunt for this giant hare that you're looking for. The 3 of you angle in that direction And it is nighttime by the time you get there, and you only have the moonlight and the stars to guide you, unless you want to add light. But you sit down in the woods and you begin your hunt. Do you have a certain approach you'd like to take to hunting?
Oh, yes. Latrell definitely utilizes similar aspects of the more bestial nature, a combination of his more hunter-like tendencies. So he'll use his nose to like sniff in the air for like traces of hair or, you know, animals close by. And primarily he'll be looking at the ground for tracks of sorts, footprints that he could be able to use to follow, to locate one of these giant hairs, because they're huge. So their tracks should be relatively large and easy to spot.
Yeah. Go ahead and roll investigation to see what you do pick up.
Oh, could I use a survival for the track?
Yep.
Awesome. All right, I get a advantage on that. Okay. Okay, let's see. 14 plus 6. 20. Dirty 20.
Ooh, okay. Mm-hmm. So yeah, with that dirty 20, you don't see tracks, but you definitely pick up the scent of hair.
Mm-hmm. And as he does so, he looks over to Ice and Hunt and Elliot and says, dinner, not too far. And there's a genuine smirk as he looks down at the ground, and then pretty much just not in a full dart, because of course, like, you know, he doesn't want to completely scare the creatures, but you know, in a bit of a like jog, more stealthier jog per se, and tries to approach towards that direction.
Okay, a stealthy jog.
Yeah,
I'm just imagining. I'm just imagining this giant stealthily jogging.
Yep.
Okay. So you jog in that direction with your two companions following behind you, and following the scent of the giant hair, and you start to see some tracks.
Perfect. So as he looks down on the tracks, kind of bends down on one knee, places his two fingers against the tracks, just lightly touching it, and then he looks up at the others to see who's not too far from here.
I says, "I never doubted you."
And as he stands back up, he kind of looks at the two and says, "So, before we move forward, how did you feel about what just happened?"
Elliot takes a deep sigh and says, "Well, we had some inklings that Helena was dealing with something that we didn't know the full truth of. And now it seems to be coming even more into the light. I think we just need to make sure she knows she can trust us. And whatever she tells us, it can't be that bad. I just don't understand why she has been so afraid to tell us. Maybe we could help her." And Ice says, "You know, sometimes when you have been keeping secrets for a long time, it just becomes easier to keep doing that way. So maybe she's just trying to get used to the idea of living in truth and not deception."
Yes. I see how that could be difficult. I'm, as you could imagine, is not like that myself, but I do know how it feels to be a certain way for a long period of time and then realize you may need to change. It can be hard. It's definitely hard. And he's thinking about the he still hasn't confirmed the decision on if he's going to wipe out all the Frosty Pants or not. He's been driven by that same decision for a long time, and really the only thing that's been, put a roadblock on that idea was his mother statement per se. So he understands that how two clashing viewpoints and drives can put a halt in any progress that you're making in that aspect, if you believe that it's progress per se. And so he looks around and says, well, maybe if you find out more information about this, we'll take care of this on our own. And then she has nothing to worry about when we take care of it.
I says, you mean we find out who is bothering her and take them out and not tell her?
Oh, we tell her after it's over. So therefore she gets a sense of peace. Besides, she's going to be wanting to throw bombs, go in sneakily. That's not my style. I go across, I slash, kill, and then we're good. And so we could come back with his head as a trophy, this person's head as a trophy. I think you have nothing to worry about there.
Perhaps. And Elliot says, I don't know about that, but okay.
He smirks. He says, you know me. You I mean...
yeah, I do know you, Latria. Yeah.
Oh. You can say again, he gives a gentle smirk. And then he looks off towards the distance where the Hellfan clan was, where retribution was given. And then there's also that smirk across his face as he recalls the events that came in. And I think it was at that moment where if we're looking at the spectrum bar between revenge and not revenge kind of like got pushed back a few steps forward because he now sees how killing someone can give people peace. So he nods and he says, well, time to track these hairs. And then he kind of rushes off towards where the tracks leads to.
Okay, great. And now we're going to shift back over to Helena and Treebush. Where did you go off to?
Treebush and Helena probably just flying around. Treebush is quiet, used to this kind of flights, has been flying like this whenever Helena feels that, she's getting caught. While riding Treebush, you see, like if it's in a movie, you would see her skin change from the normal tan that it was to very pale gray. In her hair changing from blonde, sort of a dirty blonde, to like dark, deep purple. And her face, her ears, they go back, and you see this changeling that's riding Treebush. Treebush has seen this before. This is not new to Treebush. But Treebush would know that she doesn't change into this like all the time. Not like very rarely does Treebush see this kind of change. And she remains quiet for a little bit, possibly waiting for Treebush to start talking. But what she does is she plays around with the opal and just sort of starts firing trying to fire little bolts and trying to see if she could replicate it without using the stone. So that's what she's doing silently as they're flying around, just firing bolts with the stone and trying to copy it with her hand.
Treebush is like, oh, that was a good one. You're kind of getting the hang of it.
Helena smiles. Thanks.
So I noticed that you look like that other look you have sometimes.
Yeah. It's been a while since I've been Sloon. I've been Helena for so long. Sloon sounds so different in my ears.
Sloon.
Does it sound better than Helena, you think?
Sounds like. It sounds like an assassin.
Yeah, my parents were not very creative in their naming. And I haven't thought about them for so long either. It's been such a long time.
Remind me, this is DM asking, how much of your history does Trebush know?
Trebush would know a lot.
Okay.
Trebush would know that about a wizard. Trebush would know that she doesn't care about her old family. Trebush would know almost all, just as much as Avis knows, but like not being there. Just sort of like based on her stories.
Got it. So Trebush then says, I want to ask you something.
Yeah.
So I know you've told me a lot about what happened with your family and this wizard, but I guess I've always wondered why did you ever find out why the wizard killed your family?
Bits and pieces. Not 100% sure. Possibly. Maybe a bad target. Maybe he was, what I heard was he had a son. That son apparently got into the crosshairs of dear old Haradwraith family business. And that's always what happens with the Haradwraith family business. You pay enough money and you get killed, I guess. Guess they didn't do their research this time around.
Yeah. Well, so are you gonna tell everyone? Are you gonna show them what you really look like?
What do you think I should do? At first, the reason why I didn't tell them was because I didn't know them at first. And then it just got easier and easier and easier to keep the secret. To the point that telling them now would just be weird. But also, I don't even know why I kept it such a secret for so long. Was it because I didn't? But maybe I was just afraid that they would think badly of me. I didn't care about my family. What kind of person doesn't care about their family, Trebush? They were all murdered. And yet, the first thing I did was loot their body. Guess mom and dad taught me well.
When you're raised by murderers, then yeah, it's probably kind of hard to feel bad when they get murdered.
Yeah. They deserved it. Don't get me wrong. They deserved everything coming to them. Especially, after all the things that they forced me to learn and make me do. They deserved it. I don't feel bad that they're gone. Honestly, I just want him to stop chasing me, stop killing the people I care about, actually.
So now you have a new family.
Yeah.
I mean, you asked me what I would do or what I think you should do, and I don't know. I don't know what to tell you, but I feel like this family that you have now, they don't sound like murderers.
Yeah.
They're not, I mean, not like your old family.
Yeah.
So what did they do to deserve this wizard guy?
I kept it a secret for so long because I didn't want to be found by the wizard guy. This is for their own good. I kept it a secret for them for their own good. And still, the bastard finds me.
Yeah. So maybe they can help you in whatever you want to do. Run from him some more or face him head on. But maybe they need to know more so they can help you figure out what to do.
Maybe. And then she just sort of becomes quiet and I don't know what Treebush is gonna say afterwards, but she remains quiet and until Treebush decides to come back.
To bring you back to the campsite?
Yeah.
Okay. So now before you get back at the campsite, Latreia, you and Elliot and Ice have brought back a giant hare from your hunt. And to imagine how giant this hare is, it's about the size of a horse. But of course, horses are very slender and muscular and rabbits are not. So it's, if you can imagine that size of a big fluffy bunny. And now you've brought it back to your campsite. You all are prepping the rabbit carcass for, we can skip ahead to it's roasting on a very large spit over a very large fire. You have to make the fire bigger to cook this thing. And you're preparing for your evening meal. We're almost out of time. So let's go ahead and skip ahead more to Helena and Treebush landing outside the camp.
What you see is probably Treebush, and there is a different person riding Treebush. The clothes look like Helena's clothes.
Ice says, oh, hey, what are you doing? What are you doing on our friend's dragon?
And it
Fine.
and it's Sloone herself. No elf look, it's just her. All gray. And Elliot obviously knows that she's a changeling. And
Yeah.
she arrives and she stands there and she says, hey, to everybody. She just goes, hey.
With your Helena voice?
Yeah, the Helena voice stays just so that it doesn't shock them.
Mm-hmm.
She just goes, hey.
Spider-Man shoulder
Just
touch.
looking.
Is it possible for Latreia to look at Elliot and then look at Helena and notice a similarity?
Oh, yeah. You would definitely notice a similarity in the skin tone, maybe even the hair color and the eye color.
Oh.
I will come up to this person and put my hands on her shoulders. Look her in the eyes. What the heck were you hiding for? And he'll give her a hug.
can see Sloon just tear up. It's been a long time. I think I should tell you guys everything.
Okay.
We have hair.
Yeah, let's eat
Purple
first.
hair. See what I did there? Navi means the food, obviously. It's just,
Yeah. That is a giant rabbit that I see there. It's a very big rabbit. I am hungry. You guys are done with the food prep. Maybe we can eat.
He says, thanks, fake ice. She brought up the good idea. I just follow suit.
And
You look
I
like
turn to-
Elliot.
Yeah, I do.
So you're like
Latreia.
Elliot.
Latreia,
Yeah.
you just burst these things out the way that a child kind of like, you're really tall.
Yeah.
Like this.
Yeah, pretty much. 200%. 200%. Like, oh. Then he looks towards Elliot and says, wait, Elliot, you could change too?
Yes, I can. I rarely do, but
Yeah.
and Elliot actually starts to change and looks like a shorter version of you, Latreia.
Wow.
Hi, buddy.
He kind of like pokes around. You even got the same shoulders. And same. Those are my abs. Those are my abs.
And Sloon changes as well to smaller Latreia. Now there's two of us.
3 of us.
Oh, that's true. 3 of us. Yes.
well, this is getting confusing now. So next time you go somewhere real dark, you don't need to say you're casting light for us that can see in the dark anymore. You can just tell us, "Oh, I can't see." You know.
Yeah, that's I'll try. I've been Helena for so long. It's hard to get rid of some weird habits, but introducing to you for the first time. My name is Sloon Haradwraith of the Haradwraith Assassins.
That's the name that Snaky Boy used.
Yes, it is.
Wait. You say you didn't know what they were talking about.
I was acting.
But you were the
Shoot.
tree.
I was just about to say she was being a tree, but you beat me to it, fella.
Oh. Okay.
I will tell you guys everything.
Okay. And you can see he looks, because he knows, he believes 200% he's going to get confused about all of this. So you see like intense laser focus to try to absorb as much information as possible. Because right now he's already like very confused. He's very confused by this.
Latreia, does Latreia actually understand that this is Helena?
Maybe. I think so. Because it's the same clothes. But yeah, let me make a roll. What would that be?
I would say either it's not even insight, it's literally just like
Intelligence?
yeah.
A straight up wisdom roll, I think.
Or
Okay.
I think wisdom, yeah.
Wisdom,
And
okay.
I want to say with advantage because you have all these people around you who are kind of reinforcing this truth that has come out.
Okay. That makes sense. Yeah. Because he's... Oh, yeah. Well, the first one was an 18. So, I mean...
Okay.
So
all
18
right.
plus... Yeah, so that's a 20 total.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay.
Elliot turns back into Elliot.
Oh. Abs are gone.
Yeah.
And then Sloon turns back to Helena for a little bit. I mean, while she tells the story, I guess. She'll be Helena for a little bit.
Wait. what name would you like to be?
She
That is
tries.
a good question.
She tries Sloon in her lips again. I think it's about time I take back Sloon. Sloon is a good name. Yeah. Sloon.
And with that, we will end our session.
Man, wow. That was such good role play.
Ooh, so many secrets
I know.
revealed.
It was so good.
Avis and Sloon.
Oh.
Wow.
Oh, it's delicious. This was delicious. So thank you all so much again for coming by, watching this stream, this session. We definitely appreciate it. We're going to go ahead and film our after show, which you can find on our Patreon. So if you would like to join us at our Patreon, you should be able to see it in chat. Once again, where we have you can find bonus episodes, after shows, Discord exclusive channels, and of course, all of your support goes straight to the cast. We definitely appreciate it. And so we'll be back, of course, again for next Saturday, for episode 13 of Lords of Faerun. Farewell for now.